All right, so there has been a very interesting update in the lawsuit between Logan Paul and Coffeezilla. For those who don't know, Logan Paul has been having a terrible year and is facing so many lawsuits. There's a contract dispute with his bottler, there's a lawsuit for the caffeine content, trademark infringement between the Olympics. On top of that, sales of Prime are down 70% and the profit is down 90%. So this company is doing terrible and that's his baby. So right now, he's extremely angry. He's extremely pissed off at the world. And he's taking it out on Coffeezilla and the victims of the CryptoZoo scam. Let me break it down for you guys. I've been watching this channel called Lust, and this guy is a copyright attorney and he breaks down lawsuits, and he posted a very interesting video. So just to lay down the facts, Logan Paul has a class action lawsuit against him for his involvement in the CryptoZoo, the scam that made a lot of people lose their life savings. And he himself is suing Coffeezilla for calling him a scammer. He said that he had no wrongdoing and he didn't know what was going on. He didn't know that people were going to lose all their money. Now, in the lawsuit against Coffeezilla, it looks like he's just trying to bleed him dry. He's trying to make it as expensive as possible. But Coffeezilla is fighting back. Take a look at this motion. To the Honorable Court, defendants, Coffeezilla will file this motion to leave to take videotape depositions of Duarte Campos de Oliveira, Martim Campos de Oliveira, and Kira Ann Krieg, jointly the depositions, and in support would respectfully show that Coffeezilla noticed the depositions of the three victims of plaintiff Logan Paul's fraud via Zoom video conference. See deposition notice. The victims live in Portugal and New Zealand respectively, but they agreed to voluntarily appear at a deposition via Zoom. So Paul does not oppose the depositions occurring, but opposes them being conducted by remote means. In what appears to be an ongoing pattern, Paul wants to punish his critics by forcing them to incur international travel expenses simply to tell their story. But Paul has no legitimate basis to oppose the relief sought. Coffeezilla should not be punished for the global impact of Paul's fraud. Coffeezilla brings this motion and seeks leave of court to conduct the depositions remotely pursuant to the Federal Code 30B4. So I want to really hammer this point home. These people, they lost their lives savings. They lost all their money to CryptoZoo. And now they are brought back into this because they are willing to tell their story, to help Coffeezilla clear his name and to help get this lawsuit dismissed. Now, they want to tell their story in a way that makes sense on Zoom. They're in Portugal, New Zealand. They're very far from America. And there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to do this on Zoom. No reason whatsoever. But what does Logan Paul want to do? He wants to drag their ass to America, to Texas, have them hop on a plane, and then stand in deposition for 8 hours per side, so it might be 16 hours, and then have them fly all the way back to New Zealand or Portugal. All of that at their own expenses. Logan, according to this paperwork, according to the lawsuits, these are your victims. They lost their life savings because of you. Why are you trying to re-victimize them by having them spend even more money to go simply tell their story? It's unbelievable. These people have been through so much hardships because of their stupid investments in CryptoZoo, and now Logan Paul is trying to have them go through even more ordeals. But let's keep reading because it gets worse. So this is what the victim had to say. This is an unsworn declaration of Duarte Campos de Oliveira. So he declares as follows: I am over the age of 18, of sound mind, and I'm competent to make this declaration. The facts stated in this declaration are based on my own personal knowledge and are true and correct to the best of my knowledge. I would and could completely testify to these facts if called as a witness. 2. I am a victim of Logan Paul's CryptoZoo scam. I am willing to testify in this case without a subpoena. I live in Portugal. Portugal is approximately 4,986 miles or 8,024 kilometers from San Antonio, Texas. A flight from Portugal to San Antonio, Texas would cost at least $1,200 round trip and would require more than 30 hours of travel time. I would also have to take time away from work, which I cannot afford to. Keep in mind, this is a victim that lost a lot of money to CryptoZoo, so they're already in a bad financial situation. I cannot afford to purchase a flight to San Antonio, Texas from Portugal, and for lodging accommodations to attend an in-person deposition. I am willing and available to testify in this case via Zoom. I'm also prepared to share documentation at the Zoom deposition to verify my identity. So there's literally no reason whatsoever that this person wouldn't be able to testify from Portugal or the other person testify from New Zealand. There's no purpose whatsoever. Keep in mind that these witnesses, they are not going to exonerate him at all. It's going to be an incriminating testimony, so he doesn't want them there. There is no legal reason why he would possibly want them there. And if they can't afford it themselves, then who's going to have to pay for that? Coffeezilla. He's going to have to fork over some money so that they can fly to Texas and be able to testify in person. Now, unfortunately, I don't know what happened with that motion. I don't know if it has been decided yet, but it's not appearing on Pacer. And somehow it gets even worse because there is a guy called Don Holland and he is leading the class action lawsuit against CryptoZoo, and Logan Paul is now dragging this guy into the defamation lawsuit. And now he's not suing him personally, but he wants his deposition and he wants him to produce a bunch of documents, except it is a bunch of documents. And when you have to answer to discovery, this takes a lot of time out of your life. I was watching this channel that said he was asked for discovery and he basically had to spend 3 to 4 weeks nonstop taking 7,000 screenshots from emails and text messages that he sent to other people. So this can be very taxing on someone's life. Obviously, they said no, and this is what Logan Paul had to say. He filed this motion, and it's a plaintiff's motion to enforce and compel compliance with third-party subpoena to Don Holland. Plaintiff Logan Paul moves this court for an order compelling non-party Don Holland's compliance with a document subpoena issued to Holland pursuant to Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 45. After defendants indicated an intent to depose Holland and notice his deposition, Paul served a limited document subpoena on Holland that was narrowly tailored to seeking materials directly relevant to the scope of the testimony defendants are expected to elicit from Holland. Through his counsel, Holland objected to the subpoena in its entirety, refused to produce any responsive documents, and subsequently ignored multiple good faith attempts by Paul's counsel to meet and confer. There being no legitimate basis for Holland to resist compliance with Paul's subpoena, Holland should be ordered to promptly produce responsive materials. And this is his end goal. He's trying to make it as expensive and as annoying as possible to be in litigation with him so that the next time someone wants to speak up against him and say, hey, I lost money because of Logan Paul, they're going to be dissuaded because they don't want to get involved in these lengthy legal battles where obviously he has a shit ton amount of money. He has basically endless funds to fight this, so all his lawyers can just bury the people in depositions, in discovery, and it's just showing that he has no remorse whatsoever for what he has done. The fact that he's willing to put these poor people through even more ordeals just so that they can testify in person is really showing a lack of empathy and any type of remorse whatsoever. So that's it for the video. Honestly, it's not very surprising. This is how he's been acting for a very long time. A millionaire man-child that doesn't really answer to anyone, so I'm not really surprised. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm really trying to get to 100,000 subscribers by the next couple months, and I know it's doable. So if you enjoy the show, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.